This is what golf pros never tell you about ball then turf strikes. Where you hit the middle of the club is so important. We often think about middle of the club as just toe to heel, but actually how many grooves up and how you access this is vital. I've got a great prescription today for you that's going to really improve how you strike your irons. And it's something like, we're on the par 3 here. This is 16, a long par 3, probably the hardest actually here at Mottram. And this is something that I actually do mid-round, so you can work on your game, keep the maintenance up, even if you don't have time to practice. But also, if you do, you can do this down the range too. So I call this technique the dot technique. And we're answering this question. Smith said, when I'm striping my irons, I don't take divots. Now this is when people get too scoopy. You can still strike it okay, but you won't maximize your distance and the big word, consistency. So have a look at this, right? Let me just grab a golf ball out of here. If you come close up, right, on the ground here, it's very important. You've got to understand that to get to the middle of that golf ball, we've got to hit down, right? If you look at that from face on there, at me hitting down in that direction, and look at that from player cam, you can see how the middle of the ball now lines up with the middle of the face when we've got an element of forward shaft lean. If we're sort of scooping at that golf ball in that direction, we're going to sort of be limited to maybe the thin, and maybe just only 1 or 2 grooves up on the face, not that sort of 3rd and 4th groove. That is what the dot technique is going to show you, how we get here. It's great because you find out how you do it, so therefore you can take it to the course. How nice is it when you get that shot and you don't even feel that contact? That's what finding those grooves will do. So the dot technique, yourself a golf ball, and what you're going to do is just grab a Sharpie. So I'm saying, like, you can do this on the golf course, right? I'm going to draw just below the 1 on my golf ball, and I'm going to put a lot of Sharpie pen, a lot of ink, that's the word I was looking for. A lot of ink just under that 1. Okay, so let's tee this golf ball up. This is great because I find a lot of us learn when we have a focus, okay? Now the reason why we've drawn the dot under the 1 is because if we now hit down on that golf ball, that dot should match up, and it's not an exact science, but sort of around 3rd and 4th groove, and we shouldn't get any feedback up the shaft. If we're getting it and always getting that dot mark towards the bottom, then we know we're a bit scoopy. The other ideas here is if we see patterns of the dots towards the heel and the dots towards the toe, we're not being as efficient, but your brain will start to work these things out. This is the thing, right? We find it hard to strike because we have no real focus of where the ball has contacted the face. This way, you're getting feedback, you're getting evidence. Now, have a look at this from face on. I mean, you saw those dots in the thumbnail. You have to feel, as you make this downswing now, that you're getting a little bit of weight transfer. You're feeling as though these hands win the race. Because simply, that is how you're gonna get that dot in the middle of the face. Now, you might not get it right first time, and actually, I wouldn't expect you to get it right first time. But once you've got a dot on your club face, you know what your patterns are. So then you know what you've got to do. So if it's too low on the face, we need to hit a bit more down on the golf ball. If it's a little bit too towards the toe, we need to get our hands a little bit further away from us. If it's a little bit towards the heel, the hands need to come a little bit closer to us. So let's hit this one away and just honestly, the focus. Your brain makes so many compensations. All you're trying to do is get a dot in the middle. Your brain will take over and make the weight transfer. Get the hands ahead once you've got a focus point of where you already have a pattern. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at this. Moment of truth. Feel a little bit of pressure here. That was absolutely struck. Have a look at this. Absolutely perfect. Apart from being maybe a little bit toe, but 1, 2, 3 and 4 grooves up. Didn't feel it up the shaft. Where's that dot? Maybe a little bit toe side, but I know I've hit down enough. I've got a little bit of bruising of the ground, but I just need to be a little bit less away from the toe. So you see how you can learn, and that's how you play great golf. How simple is this tip? So if your dot is too low in your club face, you know you're a little bit of that fashion. Have a look at that from the player cam, sort of hands sort of losing that race. You've got to get that compensation of being a little bit more weight transfer and feeling those hands ahead. Now don't try and rush this too much. just use the feedback. Feedback is the biggest thing to help you improve golf. As I said halfway through that video, if you don't have the feedback, you can't improve. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know this dot technique is a great one that's really going to help you improve your golf. And don't forget, please do consider subscribing because we have free golf tips 5 times a week.